Give me 1 second, guys. Just trying to make sure everything is set up right, including the mic, compared to the screen. Alright, well, with that being out the way, let us begin a new game. With a cutscene, so I'm gonna be
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones.
Guys, let me know if the audio is messed up or not. I'm just trying to find
When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Undead Legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Now that was a cutscene. For those who don't know, I go by the name Ray. Obviously I'm a male. I'll deal with the starting class later, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start with this item. So, hence, I already have a file saved. It doesn't look like me, I know, but whatever, who cares? It's a role-playing game type deal. It looks close enough to me, so I'm going with that. And for my starting class, I want to do something I haven't done before. Oh, well, I've done before, but this time I'm actually going to stick with it. With that being said, I'm going to choose the warrior because I know just about every weapon I'm going to use. So with that, let's start playing the game. Welcome to the Cemetery of Ash. So it's unfortunate the beginning of this game is kind of easy. But hey, what can we do? Well, if you guys have a problem with the audio or anything like that, please let me know, and I'll try to adjust it. So hopefully the audio is not too much. Now this thing that I'm about to fight, I must say now, it is completely and 100% optional right now. You do not have to fight this thing right now. You can come fight it later when you're stupid OP and busted, but there's no need for that. And the real reason you kill them is for the 4,000 souls, by the way. you kind of don't really kill him for anything else. But, sorry for the yawn. But yeah, he gives you a tightness skill, which helps you upgrade boss weapons, which is cool. But as far as I know, my character will probably not use any boss weapons. Because there's like 1 or 2 weapons that I could theoretically use. It's just if I want to use it or not. I was trying to parry him, but it didn't work that way. I should have just one-shot him. I know I don't one-shot him, and then I just chose not to. I don't know why I'm getting so many drops. The luck is like... I'll talk about stats later. Make that jump, and you get a Titanite Shard, which lets you upgrade pretty much almost any basic weapon. 2 weapons that are not counted as basic weapons, but pretty much not like 80% of the weapons in the game are considered basic weapons. Just to let you guys know, the drops that I'm getting from these guys are not guaranteed drops. 1. Well, I say 1 like it's more than that. But yeah, it's not. Those are not guaranteed drops. This is. I'm getting really lucky. Like really lucky. I'm sorry, my voice is so raspy. I don't know why, but my voice has been going kind of crazy. Fuck that guy up. Make the jump. Come back down this way. Punch attack that guy. Can you drop anything? Nope. Kill that guy. And now we have tutorial boss. There's not much to say about this guy, except that he's a tutorial boss. I mean, you can die to him, but I mean, I tried to parry the wrong thing. Parry that. Get 3 damage. I'm parrying too slow. Let know. Don't have and that's the first boss down. Even though I don't really consider him a problem, it's when you fight him late. Well, spoiler alert if you haven't played this game. It's a spoiler. Later in the game, he's an optional boss, and his fight is so much harder. Like, so much harder. Like, incredibly harder than what it was just now. Like you guys will see, he is not a joke. Not to be fooled with. I'll be back for that guy you just saw. I don't want to fight him right now. I will fight him because the souls that he gives you are pretty worth it. But right now, nah, I'm not gonna fight him. It's not worth it. Well, it's worth it because you get the same thing either way, but still. The fact that no matter what class you start with, that dog lives with two, like, he lives to attack. No matter what you try to do, that dog will live to attack. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to go into fire lane. One. Embed this coil sword. 2. So I always have that bonfire.
Welcome to our idol to this end.
Talk to her. She's the firekeeper. She basically gives you the level ups. She's the level up guy. Not level up guy, but this guy, he's important-ish. He has his own little quest line that you kind of, with the story, you kind of just do it anyway. You don't really have to do much to get his quest. Alright, now right now, I'm going to be doing what's known as a trick jump. Because they won't pass this out of the game because, I mean, there's no reason to actually patch what I'm about to do out the game. That's why they won't patch it. Now what I'm doing is, there's a little spot on this tree that glitches out. I don't know if there's a way for me to show you this, but there's a jump on the apex of the tree that you can hit and hit this house, and you can get up to the crows. The crows in this game, basically, you can trade certain items with them and they give you something in return. The reason why I'm going up there is, 1, there's an Estus shard up here, and 2, there's a really decent early item here that I want to get right now. Because 1, it'll help me later. It's really good. Well, not 1, but that is the only reason. It's going to help me later if I do this now. Get some homeward boners. And in here is when you can go trade the crows. Later on, you will buy a key for 2,000 souls that will let you get to the top. But that is so much later on in the game. Well, not so much later, because there's a point to where you need to do it. Oh my god, I killed him without fighting him, which is interesting. Fuck, I missed them. So now I have to quit and reload because that's the way this game works. And hopefully this thing actually respawns. Make sure I load the right one. Guess I have 2 save files. The second save file is to me is kinda OP because the way it's set up is like you automatically win the game with that setup. And it does. And you get to tighten it. Now one thing I want to point out is the Uchi Katana Master, which is the guy that, or the Sword Master is what they call him. He jumped off the edge trying to come to me. I don't know why. RNGesus. So yeah, once I finish doing all this, I will go get his items that I'm going to sell because I'm not going to use them. Because this class honestly doesn't need it. If I started as the it's a dual katana. I mean, not a dual katana. It's a guy that starts off with dual scimitars or dual blades, and that's the guy you need to get that weapon. You get call over and iron bracelets, and then you get this, a large titan shard, which is necessary. So necessary. You come over here, that's the Estus shard I was talking about. Then if you come this way, we have probably the best item for the early game and probably the entire game. Like, I don't think there's a reason to actually take this ring off. Like, there's no reason, unless you're doing PvP, there's no reason to actually take that item off, ever. Like, ever. There's no good reason for it. And some of you guys might be like, why? The reason why you don't take, the reason why you get that item, one, is because you get a soul boost. Fallen foes yield more souls. I don't know the exact percentage, but basically means I get free level ups. Basically means this game is easier. Kind of all it goes down to is this ring makes it easier for me to get levels and souls. Well, souls, which will give me levels. And I should have waited to go get the sword master. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sell what I have right there, and then I'm gonna equip the stuff that I'm actually going to use. This and this. Hopefully the area loaded. It did good. Now I have 13,000, which is, I believe, be wrong, my math could be off. Just kill these guys just in case. But minus the fading souls that I'm gonna use anyway, and minus a little bit that you would have got from the sword master. The sword master gives you a guaranteed 2,000. With the I honestly don't know how much they give you. I don't know the boost that you get. I just know that you get a boost from wearing the syringe, and that's all that matters. Why actually worry about how much souls it gives you instead of just take the souls? Like, this game is filled with like bullshit. This game is full of bullshit. So it's like, why not take the free souls?
Ashen one.
There's no actual good reason to not
as if you're in the toilet, I am.
Take free souls in this game. There's no reason for it. This is Andre. He's the guy that you talk to to infuse your weapons and all that junk.
Pretty.
And then he'll say, pretty be careful. Oh, no. You know what? I forget. He gives you, if you talk to him. I believe you have to talk to him twice.
Yes, we'll use you.
This is a good thing for the well, and then he'll give you a rock.
Pretty be careful.
So you get 2 emotes out of here. So, this whole time, I've been talking about levels and what they do. I'm about to explain it. Literally, well, yeah, I'm about to simplify it. And it probably makes more sense than ever, because
Ashen predict the mark of Abdullah.
she tells you where to go,
Very well.
because
Then touch the
Elijah's got
darkness
stuck.
within me.
And she says, touch the darkness within me.
Taken.
Okay, so, well, it basically tells you on the side. Vigor is your HP count. That's all it does. It gives you some defenses as well. Right now I can go all the way to 25. From 14 to 25 is 11 points? Because that's 10. Yeah, 11 points. Okay. So, based off of what I did and what I got 11 free points. I got 11 points right now, suspense. But, anyways, Vigor is HP. It gives you some defenses and resistances. That's pretty much it. Atonement is your FP. It's basically how much you can use a spell. Like, you see how I need at least 4 points to get 1 attunement slot, but we're not going to worry about that. Endurance is endurance. There's not really much to explain when it comes to endurance. Endurance is your stamina, which also can give you some defenses as well. And it basically determines how much you can use a certain weapon. Pretty bare bones. Vitality is your equipment load. In this game, you can only carry so much, if that makes sense. You can only equip a certain amount of items. Putting points in vitality helps with that stat a lot. There's no way around it. Vitality is one of the things. Unless you're satisfied with a weapon that you get early and armor that you get early, there's no way to avoid. Well, there is, but you still would probably need a few points in vitality somewhere along the line. Strength. Now, this is why I chose this character. This guy's strength is incredible. Strength is how, well, yeah, exactly what strength is. It tells you how strong you are, and it dictates certain weapons that you can use. And increasing this also gives you some damage boosts. As you can see, the attack power that I have literally increased. So that's that. Dexterity is the other part of strength. So Dex is usually fast weapons. Dex, you use fast weapons. A lot of fast weapons need Dex. You have to, it's basically you swing really fast, and that's it. With strength, most of the weapons are slow. No, all the weapons are slow. Pretty much all the weapons you get are slow. The trade-off is, if you get a hit off with these slow weapons, it's going to hurt like a bitch. You're going to do a shit ton of damage. With Dex, you hit fast. And you hit very fast. So that's the trade-off. You know, it's one of those things where, do you want to hit really hard, or do you want to hit fast but get out in and out? You know, a lot of the Dex characters can get in and out and dodge the strength characters. However, if you're a strength character and you know how to play against Dex, then boom, everything is great. Everything's good, because once you get those hits off, you hurt. Dex weapons are usually fast. They get their damage. It's kind of a bait situation. They get their damage. They try to bait you into doing something crazy as a retaliation, and they kind of just repeat the process into progress. So it's basically your choice on whichever one you like to do most. I prefer strength. I like hitting as hard as possible, whenever possible. Which is why I chose the warrior. The warrior of all classes gets the most strength. You can obviously choose the knight, which has both, a little bit of both. You can kind of even yourself out. Intelligence is how smart you are. That's pretty much all it boils down to. How smart do you want to be? That's what this does. Certain spells require certain amounts of intelligence. Faith is another stat that you need. Well, intelligence is how you use spells. Faith is how you use miracles. Almost every miracle needs faith, because faith is supposed to be the whole. It's faith. Faith is miracle. If you know what faith is believing in miracles. So it goes hand in hand. Luck is item discovery plus a little bit more perks, if that makes sense. Because luck in this game, as far as I know, and they still haven't changed this, if you're playing a character that's Dex and your weapon inflicts bleed damage, your luck stat increases how much that potential is. So that's the minus, or not the minus, but that's the plus side of it. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I think it's 24 in strength. Now 24, I'm leaving it at 24 for now, because the next weapon I get, or the next weapon I'm using, requires, I believe, is 23 or 24. So I'm going to leave it at 24 off the off chance that it's 23, but either way it goes, this will be at 30 something at some point. But for right now, 24 is a good amount of points. The next amount of points I'm going to do is I'm going to put 17. Actually, you know what? I believe it is 23. I believe. I could be wrong. No, I'm going to put 24. So 17, 24. The reason for this is, like I said, the next item I get will need at least 23 strength. The next weapon I'll use. That doesn't help this weapon at all, other than giving me some damage. And the only reason why I put points in health, because you flat out need health in this game. If you don't get health, your chances of you dying increase a lot. Too much, if you ask me. I'm gonna confirm this. And that's the best, that's literally the best, for this class, that's somewhat the best you can go. Now, well, not the best. A lot of people put 20-20, which means they put their strength up to 20, and they put their vigor up to 20. However, I will not touch my strength stat until I get my next weapon. All the rest of my points from here until I get to about maybe 25, maybe 20 vigor will all go to vigor. And when I get to 25 vigor, I will put all the points from there into vitality. A little bit of points into vitality. Well, not all, but basically, I want my vitality at some point to be, I believe I need it to be at, I'd say about 20 probably. So I need at least 9 points in it, right? I might not, but yeah, I'll keep all that. I'll keep all my options.
Farewell, Ashen One.
But as far as I'm concerned, that's the best I can get right now. And we're gonna travel to the first area of this game. I don't consider anything that happened before this an area, because one, it's extremely easy, and two, it's all tutorial. Like, the chances of you dying are slim. There's only one thing that can kill you in the game that early, and he killed himself. If you know what you're doing, or even if you play safe, there's one thing in the game that can kill you, right? And that's the sword master. He so happens to kill himself. But I know how to teach him, because with strength weapons, you have a chance to stagger. Staggering means that they literally cannot do anything. If you stagger someone, they basically, they stand there and you can get another free hit in. And with this weapon, you stagger every hit. Okay, 33. So, I think it's 1 point something, because usually you get 30 from that guy. So, I don't know the exact percentage. Trust me, you want to kill the dogs before you go too far, because dogs are a bitch in the game. Huh, I want to shot it. Now here, you have to do some good timing, because that guy's gonna come up the stairs, and this guy rotates with him. So what you need to do is kind of back up a little bit and wait for the guy with the axe to go back down. Timing has to be pretty good for this to work. And now, and you can parry this side. Parries makes this game a breeze. And this guy will rotate up, but it's fine. You killed his buddy. Bait out of the kick, and if you can do it in time, you can get it back. And now just stagger. If you get a stagger, there's no reason to not just continually hit, which why eventually I'll get some points in endurance. Now, on this part, the chances of death are real. You do not have to do this. Point this out. See that guy next to the archer? He will transform into a demon. You don't have to let him. Kill him. One, you get more souls for that. And two, he drops a Titan shard. Now he only drops the Titan shard in the area the first time you kill him, which is why killing him right now is pretty good. I don't know why the game automatically puts the arrows, the arrows into your inventory. Like, one, this guy will use bows more than arrows. I mean, not bows, bolts and yeah, that's it. Right. Basically, we don't have to worry about it until later. There's going to be a point where I buy either I'll buy it or I'll get it. This is the next area of attack. It's kind of the same thing. You don't have to kill the prey in these, by the way. They actually don't do it. The guy you need to kill is this guy. Do not let him finish that. Because these praying guys, well, not these praying guys, but that guy in the corner and that guy right there will come to try to attack you. These guys don't move. Only way they move is just straight up like they're not going to kill. Like, you see how that guy moved? And I forget the little box. And yes, I kill everything possible. Unless there's a point in the game where, like, you're better off running past it. That's the only time you'll see me. Kill this guy before he gets that sting. I can kill these guys. Hit off Desert armor, which is not good at all. The armor I have will be probably the best armor I have for a while. I won't change my armor for a long time. There's an armor set that I will use, but I'll point that out when I get to it. Right now it's irrelevant. At some point we will go down to this bridge. What happens on that bridge is actually pretty cool. Or well, not cool, but I know what happens when you get to the bridge. That shit's good. Come down here and kill this guy. I thought I was gonna show him. Basically, in a minute, we're going to prepare to be Sonic. We're going to try to beat fast as fuck, but we're going to go down this ladder, pick up this item. And we'll see why I said we need to be Sonic. Crossbows. Crossbows are what we use. guys that will probably make it if you don't time your run right. But run. There's no reason to not run. You'll get the items that are on that bridge a little bit later. Okay. This is a new enemy. And I want to show you guys how to point out this enemy. This is a mimic. Mimic is a fake chest. The easiest way to figure out if it's a mimic is one. I don't know if I can do it. But one way to point out a mimic is, let's see if I can go through. You see how it's moving. That's a dead giveaway. Like, wait for it. You'll kind of see it breathe. You see that? It's taking a breath. The only other way is the chain. Any regular chest has the chain pointing literally the opposite direction. So if the chain is pointing forwards towards you, it's a mimic. If the chain is facing away from you, it's not a mimic. There's not a lot of them, but there are some mimics. Literally for one thing. One, he gives you souls, and two, he gives you an upgrade. But yeah, we don't use light bows. We use heavy bows and like crossbows, which we need a bow. We use those because those usually only require strength. Those rarely require dex. Bows, light bows, things like that, usually require dex. So for that reason, we only use bows. Heavy bow, heavy bolts, which you can only use with like crossbows. So this lets the dragon be the dragon. There's no reason to be scared. He doesn't actually use this area as quick. Be careful this knight. He can kill you if you're not careful. But all you have to do is just swim. His guard will eventually break. He doesn't usually drop an amber. That's not guaranteed. You can farm him for his armor, which is better than yours, but it's heavier. That guy always makes that jump. He does not always drop the throwing knife out. You want to be careful as you walk across this bridge with these fire bombs. Walk back. Go this way. Okay, warning. I would like to point this out because I tried this. You can hit the dragon from right here. However, he will turn around and he lights this entire bridge on fire. Or not bridge, this entire floor with fire. So the only way you would do it is do a lot, like do some damage. And when you see him turn, you would literally have to go over here. And then you have to walk back up. By this time, he knows the truth. Coming, basically. And it's super annoying. It's not worth it. This is the point I'm trying to make. There is a point in the game where we'll point out the way to kill the dragon. Well, there's no actual point of waiting, but you basically buy. You go to her at some point, and you will buy wooden boats. You can buy wooden boats from her. However, there's an NPC in this game that you can buy heavy bolts from, which will do the damage. And me personally, I like to sell items that I know I'm 100% not going to use.
Ashen 1.
Just to give you the extra point.
Well,
So that will help.
very well. Then take note.
So yeah, I want this to hit at least
Farewell,
20 to
Ashen
25, and then you'll see what I'm doing from there. Alright, so we'll fast travel back to the high wall. You wanna wait right here, wait for the night to actually leave this room. Unless you want to fight tonight again. And that right there, you see what you did with the dagger? You can stun with daggers and do a lot of damage. But you see the difference between him and me. The difference is, I hit hard. He might hit fast and do some damage, but I am guaranteed to kill you. If I get any combo off, I'm basically guaranteed to kill you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the trade-off. Is that with strength class is if you I didn't even aim with that parry, but I'll take it. Parries in this game are so useful. I'm gonna run into this guy because he throws fire bombs, and all the barrels are flammable, so kill him. Sorry for the crying. We have kids over. Kids cry. There's not much I can do about that. They probably did something they weren't supposed to do, and they got disciplined. But that's none of my business. Just like that guy over. Now, oh, I was just kidding the fuck out of this. Also, one thing I want you guys to notice. You notice the difference between the damage I did right now compared to the damage I do with 2 hands. Your weapon, your strength basically doubles in this game. So right now I have 24 strength. If I two-hand my weapon, I can live with normally I could just throw firebombs at that guy until he dies. But he was so low, and it's like you have to aim. Too many calculations to put in. Trying to fight this. Want to kill that guy? Get a raw gem. For those of you who play League of Legends, it's literally like a scuttle crab. If you start attacking it, it'll try to run and juke you. It's really annoying. But once you get on top of it, it's pretty much dead. You want to kill that guy because he will shoot arrows as you in here. You don't want that. You really don't want that. Kill that guy. Sorry for doing all that. Now this next guy, that guy, when you fight him, he's going to be a bitch. He's going to be a bitch. There's no other way, no other words for it. He's a bitch. Too right. But you can trade with him very easily. There's no reason to not trade with him. Usually, sometimes he'll give you an Estus flashback, but this time he didn't. So this guy can fuck him. I'm here for the brow sword. If you're playing the knight, it's kind of an upgrade, kind of not. The blade is shorter, but it has more damage. We'll talk about that in a minute. Kill that guy. You want to kill this guy. The reason for that is because if you try to go down here and that guy's still alive, he will wake up, and two, he throws fire bombs, and again, the barrels explode in this room, so you just want to kill him. I just got blocked by a chair. I knew we just got blocked by a chair. Now you want to get this. This is 100% better. The shield, because it's it blocks 100% of the damage. And you'll see why I say it's better here in a moment. It's a little bit heavier, but this is mine. I say it's better. You can block that, and time it right, you can get back there. 100% guaranteed. Because they take a lot of time to charge. You can cut around them. That. There is a dog in this room as well. Another dog in this room. But I want this guy to aggro. Best example is what happens with the dog. You gotta have a delay. You can abuse it. Right. You're guaranteed to get a hit off on the dog if you block it. Then you can go back this way freely. Help you get your stamina back. They help with stamina regen. Restore is great. Restore is straight sword, which is a weapon you can't if you're playing a knight, or if you're playing any character. Honestly, you only need very small stats to use that weapon. Like I believe it's 10, 10, 12. Like you need 10 in strength, 10 in dex, and 12 in faith, and you can whip that weapon. You can use that weapon for the entire game, honestly. It does pretty decent damage, so that's a good thing to point out. If you're playing a knight, or if you're playing anyone, you want to put that amount of effort in. For the warrior, all you have to do is put 1 point in dex, because I believe you start off with you have to put 1 point in dex, and then you will put faith. You need 12 points in faith, so you will put 3 points in faith, because it requires you to have 12 faith. And you can use a weapon with literally the minimum of stats, so you don't actually have to use any more stats on
No, but not
damage.
Oh, please, I'll be good.
For the rest of the
I
game.
do it.
Rapid Guard Impress, you'll give you a blue steer tone, which we will equip for very little until we get another ring. We'll get another ring, replace it. We're gonna go back to the time, because 1, we can level up, and 2, there's no reason not to. This whole first area is nothing but shortcuts and backtracking, which is fine because you tie up loose ends that way. First area, there's no chance to miss anything. You 100% get almost everything in that area. There's nothing you can miss in that area. If you're doing what I'm doing, you will not miss a single thing. But yeah, see how you need 10, 10, and 12. The stats don't change. The damage is decent, because you'll put a raw gem on it, and you literally don't need to do anything with stats. Ever. But I'm not using that weapon. I use the crossbow, so I'm not going to sell it.
Ashen 1. Oh.
But yeah, this is Grey Rat. Grey Rat is a thief, but he is he will steal stuff for you. Well, once you get his once you get what he asks you to do, he will steal stuff for you and trade them for gold. Alright, well, trade them for soul. But yeah, the standard boats are the ones he uses right now. We're gonna wait because he gets a eventually he'll get stronger boats, and when he gets those set stronger boats, we'll use those. And he also sells a light crossbow, which we already have. He sells ambers. He sells a lot of basic items. It's one of those things where once he steals stuff for you, you will also get a bigger inventory.
Just wasn't it?
A good thing to point out is you can reinforce the deep battle axe. However, the next item that I'm using is what I'm setting up for.
Welcome, speak. Very well, then take note.
And you gonna talk to her because she's the low up lady. 20. And bam.
Farewell, Ashen One.
But with that, that is basically the first part of this game. There's another boss to fight. It's a couple of knights to fight. However, since it is so hot, I'm going to make sure that the game saves. I'm gonna quit the game because I enjoyed streaming for you guys, but I am getting incredibly hungry and tired a little bit of the stream. I'm getting, let me say this again. I am getting a little tired from streaming now. I've been streaming for about an hour or so I think it's a good time for me to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. I am incredibly hungry. I'm about to go eat. And maybe I'll be back live after I eat. So for right now, I'm out.